A lot of the times, adults will pick up on things that kids may dismiss. Sometimes when you go back to replay an old childhood game to get all that nostalgia flowing, you hear nothing but sexual innuendo, making you promptly think to yourself, how did I not notice these as a kid? Hey guys, ArcadeCloud here, and today we're counting down our top 10 adult jokes that you never caught in kids' video games. If you're new to our channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. Give this video a thumbs up and share it with some friends. It's free. At number 10, we have Candy Kong from the Donkey Kong series. Candy Kong first appeared in the game Donkey Kong Country for the SNES, where she acted as the save point. Later in the Game Boy Advance port of the game, she ran a dance studio minigame. Then later in Donkey Kong 64, she appeared wearing pink short shorts and a pink shirt. It was used as a distraction tool against King K. Rool. In the Donkey Kong Country animated series, she was portrayed with fiery red hair, and she would sometimes be a bit of a tease with Donkey Kong, canceling dates with him on a whim, though she would sometimes share tender loving moments with him. Some facts about Candy Kong was that she was the first female character to appear in the Donkey Kong series, although Dixie Kong was the first playable female character. Candy Kong has also appeared in numerous other Donkey Kong games, such as DK King of Swing, having a much different appearance than in previous titles. She appeared wearing a pink bikini top and very short shorts, and she also made 2 brief appearances in Donkey Kong Country 2 and Donkey Kong Country 3. At number 9, we have Jak 3. The Jak and Daxter series is great at using one-liners and innuendo. Daxter takes every opportunity he can to say something slick. In Jak 3, while Jak is being challenged to beat the best score, Daxter lets loose saying, "Oh, don't worry, Jak beats things all the time." Another great quote from Jak 2 was, while Daxter was holding the vibrating shard, he just couldn't help himself and blurted, "Wow, this puppy's got some vibration to it. This baby will put a smile on your face." The final Daxter one-liner I'd like to include is also from Jak 3, where Daxter states, "You know what I really miss? Soft underpants. You know how it lifts and cradles? You wouldn't understand." Maybe Daxter is just a little perv. A soft, fuzzy little perv. Who knows? He is, though. At number 8, we have Banjo-Tooie. At one point in the game, while you're moving around a nice, lush green landscape, you may notice something a little off about the landscape. In Pterodactyl Land, you notice that green landscape appears to be a bit phallic, and by a bit, I mean a lot. When you run to the tip of this land formation, a white glowing substance will create smaller baby islands, which will allow you to safely reach the other side of the level, as well as allow you to escape the rocky formation. At number 7, we have Super Mario Kart for the SNES. In the original Japanese version, whenever your character would win a race, they would celebrate by holding and then consuming what we assume to be a bottle of champagne. Your character would then get very red in the face after consuming the beverage. The American port of this game removed this celebration, and if you want to experience Mario Kart in all of its drinking and possibly drunk driving glory, then you'll have to obtain a Japanese version of the game. That's probably why the American version removed the consumption of alcohol from the game. At number 6, we have a very specific level in Kirbys Dreamland 2. No game is safe from sexual innuendo, even Kirby. In the secret level 5-5, you enter the level as usual, and if you descend without thinking much about your surroundings, you may not put it all together. The first thing you notice about the level is a nice smiley face that greets you, but as you descend down deeper into the abyss, right under that face is what most people would instantly recognize as a pair of boobs. If you descend deeper, you'll find a lone block which marks the position of a belly button, and then guess what's lower? To no one's surprise, you find a giant letter Y with an enemy placed right in the center of the Y, a black fuzzy little character that has no chance of hurting Kirby at all. I wonder what it's doing there. Maybe it represents something. When you look at all these images together, it paints a pretty clear picture, albeit in calculator graphics. This game was originally played on Game Boy screens, and it wasn't until a Japanese strategy guide showed the entire map, proving that this map is what people thought it was. At number 5, we have the Ratchet Clank series and its use of innuendo titles. This series has a lot of sexual innuendo, and they don't even try to hide it. With a title like Ratchet Clank Going Commando, there isn't much left to the imagination. The series as a whole started off all clean, but with the introduction of their first sequel, which was previously named, this series tends to get a little dirtier. The title Going Commando was even renamed to Locked and Loaded in the European market. Maybe the developers were all just in their underwear during the production of this sequel. The next sequel is then named Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal, which the European version simply renamed to Ratchet & Clank 3. To the American market, this might not have been as obvious, but the European market fully understands this little crack the title presents. The next title, Ratchet & Clank Size Matters, was released for the Sony PSP, a small handheld console known for its portability. It's at least nice to have a joke that doesn't focus on the bare backside of the characters though, especially with the latest sequel being titled Ratchet & Clank Full Frontal Assault. This title pretty much speaks for itself. It's hard for me to make a joke about it. At number 4, we have the Mega Man Legends Roll bath scene. There's a moment in the game where Mega Man catches the female character Roll taking taking a bath. At one point in the game, Roll is said to be taking a bath, and upon entering the bathroom, you hear her scream, "Eek! What do you think you're doing?" When being forced to leave the room, Mega Man pumps his fist in the air triumphantly instead of displaying any sort of embarrassment. Mega Man is just a little perv, and it's made a bit worse considering the age of both of these characters. At least the game quickly gets back to the action so that this part is easily forgotten. Or maybe it's just the most memorable for you, maybe you're just as much of a perv as Mega Man. At number 3, we have a moment from Super Mario RPG. In this game, Mario has access to many rooms throughout the Mushroom Kingdom's castle, including access to Princess Toadstool's private quarters. If you search behind the fireplace, you will be greeted by an item with a mysterious name, Toadstool's question mark question mark question mark. Upon discovering this item, Toadstool's grandmother will run up to you and offer you a mushroom on the condition that you mind your own business. If you decide to go to this object after Toadstool joins your party, then the princess will scold Mario, saying that Mario does not respect her personal private belongings. You can use your own imagination on this one. The Japanese version of the game includes the name Toadstool's XXX. In Japan, XXX has the same meaning as question mark question mark question mark, but with a dirty mind you can absolutely think of something else it might mean. At number 2, we have Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. During your playthrough, Link can come across a lady dressed in somewhat provocative clothing, and upon talking to her, she tells Link that she is able to restore his life if he follows her inside the house. When you have Link enter the house, the camera stays put on the outside of the house, and we never get to go inside. When Link comes out, he's at full health, leading people to wonder what happened and how she was able to heal Link. Zelda has made lots of uses of innuendo, a lot of it being from Ocarina of Time. Upon clearing the dungeon boss Baronade, the character Ruto will surprise Link, causing him to fall into the water behind him. Ruto then dives into the water and slowly swims towards Link and then asks, "What do you wish? Just tell me." If you choose the option, "Nothing really," Ruto will then say, "Hee hee hee, don't be shy." The screen fades to black and you see in white text, "Don't tell my father." The final reference I'm going to use is also from Ocarina of Time, and it's when you enter the ghost shop. When you talk to the shop's owner, he states how handsome and energetic you are, and says, "If I looked as good as you, I could run a different kind of business," and laughs. And finally, at number 1, we have the Pokemon Sun and Moon games. There's a lot of innuendo used throughout this game, and it's always where you'd least expect it. At one point, there's a comment stating, "If I'm wearing a bikini, where do I put my Pokeballs? Teehee, a woman's secret," prompting players to then wonder, where does she keep her Pokeballs? There's even another quote along the same lines, "It's tough fetching Pokeballs from my bikini." I bet it is. I'll just leave that as is. At one point in the game, you're challenged by a young couple, Duff and Ida, who then summon out Onyx and Cloyster. Yeah, okay. And if you have the Pokemon Dodrio and look at its page in the Pokedex, you will read, "Apparently the heads aren't the only parts of the body that Dodrio has 3 of." I don't even know what to say at this point. I mean, the game got an E rating, but still. And there you have it, our list of the top 10 adult jokes you never got in kids' video games. Do you agree? Did we miss something? Let us know in the comments down below, and don't forget to subscribe for more great videos from ArcadeCloud on Wednesdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Take care and game on.